For more on the election campaign and how COVID-19 has changed the equation, we're joined by Mary C. Curtis from Charlotte, North Carolina. She's a columnist for Roll Call and host of the Equal Time podcast. Mary, thanks so much for joining us. I want to get to some of the down ballot candidates in just a second, but at the top of the ballot, the race for the White House, even before Trump's confirmed infection, was the pandemic hurting one campaign more than the other?
Well, it's interesting because Trump was having these big rallies, which gives him oxygen. And he even, you could see on the debate this past week, mocked Joe Biden, saying he could not fill an arena, and also mocking him for wearing masks and social distancing. And his diagnosis has upended it because now COVID is front and center. And it's looking that he cannot even take care of himself and his inner circle. And now, even if he does, when he recovers, if he wants to get out, people might be a lot more skeptical about going out. Now, Joe Biden is now actually on the campaign trail. He has more limited rallies, but he is looking more like the responsible one here. So it has upended it when you think about it, because not even a week ago, we were talking about the economy and the Supreme Court nominee, Trump's taxes, and that crazy debate, and vigilantes, white vigilantes that it seemed that the president was comforting. And now it's all about COVID.
And of course, this November, there are a lot of people running for office beyond the White House race. Important races, not just at the federal level, but state and local. How's the pandemic affecting those?
Well, it is interesting. We have so many crucial contests that are coming up, including ones that will determine who controls the Senate, Republicans or Democrats, which some people think is almost as important as who controls the White House. And yes, it is cutting down on those get out the vote efforts. And so already, in the United States, many people are voting in mail-in ballots and also early voting that starts in so many states. And yes, will people feel comfortable going out and voting because of the pandemic? And with the down ballot races, a lot of it is name recognition, and it is a lot of pressing the flesh. And they will not be able to do it, as I said, not just because of the campaigns, but because, members of the public feel comfortable. And you see, the president, he can get all the medical attention and the best that money can have. He's the president of the United States. But other people are grappling with, what happens if I get this? I've lost my job, so I don't have insurance. So it makes it a lot more difficult.
One of the tools that Democrats have talked about in delaying the nomination process, the hearings for Amy Coney Barrett for the Supreme Court, has been to insist on a quorum where every senator has to be there and vote in person. When you now have senators who have confirmed COVID-19 infections, how is that even possible?
Yes, well, Mike Lee of Utah and Tom Tillis of North Carolina are on that committee, and they are saying that perhaps they can do some of the discussion virtually, but they do have to be there in person for the vote. And Charles Schumer of New York, who is the Senate Minority Leader, a Democrat, is throwing it out there and saying, we can't put our members in danger. And every time you see one after another of these folks who have been in close contact with the White House, it is going to be difficult. And at a certain point, the public is going to say, is it that important? It will look like they really are pushing it through. They haven't even passed the next stimulus for the public to get money, needed money for food, for health care, for rent. But it looks like, is this what's important to you, pushing through the judges? Even Mitch McConnell might hesitate.
Mary Curtis, check out her podcast, Equal Time. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Coming up after